What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building. I will be covering the UFC 255 card, and I'll be giving you guys my predictions. This is a pretty good card, man. Some of the late notice fight announcements that came up for this card, it kind of rounded it up and made it a decent card. There's about at least four fights I'm interested in. There's some good fights that I'm not that interested in, but I know they're good fights. So yeah, but let's get to it, man. First fight up. Nicolas Dalby versus Daniel Rodriguez. Nicolas comes in 18-4-1. Fights at Denmark, age 36, height 5'11", and reach 74.5. Daniel Rodriguez is 13-1. Fights out of California. Let's stand up. Age 33, height 6'1", and reaches 74. Dalby's most recent win was against Alex Oliveira, and Daniel's most recent win was against Dwight Grant. Nicolas Dalby's his most recent loss was against Jesse Ronson, man. That just brought up some bad. I forgot about that, man. That's terrible, bro. Oh man, I totally forgot about that fight. Oh my god, that was. Dog, how did you lose to that guy, bro? But Daniel's most recent loss was against Victor Rene via split decision. I should have put the date on there, but it was like maybe 2016. That's my guess on when it happened. But yeah, man, this is a really good fight. Nicolas Dalby's a good fighter. He really disappointed me in that Jesse Ronson fight, but he's a tougher test than people are giving him credit for. For Rodriguez, I think Rodriguez is gonna fight Brian Barberena, so I guess Dalby's like a little lower than Brian Barberena, but he's a good fighter though. He's scrappy. He's good in a lot of areas. He's gonna go for takedowns. He's tough, and he's gonna go at you. But, the way he fought Jesse Ronson was with no respect. That was insanity. So, it's going to be an interesting one. But, I got to go Daniel Rodriguez, man. I really got to, man. That kid, I said it again in my last show, and I didn't, they ended up calling off the fight. But, that guy, he gained so much respect from me after what he did to Dwight Grant. Dwight Grant, I was telling people Dwight Grant was going to knock him out. And Dwight was this close. And then this guy from like goddamn hell came out of him and gave everything to Dwight and broke him. And I was like, wow, man, he got something. He got a dog in him, man. And I like fighters like that just won't give up on you and, let's say, your money, man. And even if they do lose, you know that they gave 110%. You can't be mad at it. So I know Dan Rodriguez is going to give me 110%, and he's going to give it to me the right way. He's going to do everything right. He looked a little sloppy against Dwight, but he had to be kind of sloppy with him. Dwight's like a really good kickboxer, has a lot of amateur kickboxing in California. And, he used to train at AK. Now he's in, I think, New York or whatever, or somewhere. I think he's training either in New York or Alliance in San Diego. But, yeah, man, dude. Daniel Rodriguez is the truth, man. I think he'll get ranked. But yeah, next fight, Luis Casesos, I think that's how he says his name, versus Sasha Palatnikov. Luis comes in 7-0, fights out of California, age 25. His most recent run was against Victor Rene, and he's also, he doesn't have any losses. He's undefeated. Sasha's 5-2, fights out of Las Vegas, age 31. His most recent win was against Paulo Henrique, and his most recent loss was to Munir Lozez. This is a good fight. Luis looked really good in his contender series fight that I saw. He has pop on his hands. Sasha, on the other hand, is more, I would say, more of a technical fighter. So I think Sasha's trying to go, win this fight by decision. But I think Luis is going to stop him. I'm going to go Luis by second round TKO. I think he gets it done. Next fight, Joaquin Buckley versus Jordan Wright. Joaquin is 11-3, fights out of Missouri, age 26, 5'10", reach 73. Jordan's 11-0. I don't know how he's 11-0, but he's 11-0. Fights out of LA, age 29, height 6'2", and reach 77. Joaquin's most recent win was against Impa Kasagane, and Jordan's most recent win was against Villanueva. That was a pretty good. I think he got him. Well, I think it was a doctor stoppage, but he knocked him down with a nice spinning heel kick. It was pretty dope. Joaquin Buckley's most recent loss was to Kevin Holland, and this I don't understand. I saw this on Tapology. Maybe someone in the comments can explain it to me. I don't know if Anthony Hernandez tested positive for something. But the first time I ever saw Jordan Wright fight was on the Contender Series, and when he got his ass knocked the fuck out by Anthony Hernandez. Now I look at Tapology, it's a no contest. I don't know if Hernandez popped for something or whatever, but that's I know Jordan Wright is not, he is not 11-0. Me personally, this is a really good fight. Two guys with decent knockouts, a decent style. Jordan's more of like has a karate stance. He likes his distance. He does not like to get hit. Interesting thing about him, he comes from a rich family, and this is his passion. So it is what it is. Buckley is a little different. He has more of a come up story, and he works hard for stuff. And the way he fights, man, he just goes for broke, man. I picked against him when he fought Impa Kasagane, and I picked against him against Kevin Holland because of that kind of like willingness to bang. But man, it works, and I feel like this is his kind of perfect opponent, somebody that does not like to get hit. Now Jordan Wright is a dangerous guy, but if Joaquin can do what Anthony Hernandez did and just go straight for him, don't give him no respect, and just run right through him, I think Buckley knocks him out in the first round. He's obviously, I think he's had 2 fights since the Hernandez loss, but man, I just seen a guy that does not like to get hit, and you don't want to get hit, but you have to have a certain acceptance. You're gonna get hit. And I just don't think he has that, and I think Buckley gets him. And, dude, that knockout over Impa, man. If I ever said that, hey, when I do my little year-end awards or whatever show, dude, he already got knockout of the year. I don't care, man. That knockout was crazy. But next up, man, great fucking fight right here. I don't know why it's so low. I hope it's not this low on the show. But Brandon Moreno versus Brandon Royval, man. Brandon comes in... I'm gonna just say their last names. Moreno comes in 17-5-1, the number 2 flyweight in the world. Fights out of Mexico, age 26, height 5'11", and reaches 70. Royval is 12-4, the number 6 flyweight in the world. Fights out of Colorado, age 28, height 5'9", and reaches 70.5. Moreno's most recent win was against Jussier Formiga, and Royval's most recent one was against Kai Kara France. Moreno's most recent loss was to Alexandra Pojanto. And Royval's most recent loss was to Casey Kenny. Not too decent. Those aren't bad losses to have. This is a great fight. I think this is basically the number 1 contender. It's interesting that Moreno's not fighting for the title on this card, even though I feel like he has a better resume than Perez. I knew Perez finished Formiga, but, Moreno, he beat him by decision. So I think it was a split. It was a split decision. But... they both, and Moreno also has a win over Kai Kara France, and he went to, I think, a draw against Oscar Oskarov, and I thought he did great in that fight. So this is an interesting fight. Royval is, he's really been shocking a lot of people. His victory over Tim Elliott, he's been finishing guys too, and then his victory over Kai Kara France, which was a war and was a great scrap. I think levels are gonna play up to this game, or to this fight. I just think he's just been there. He's had his losses to Sergio Pettis. He's fought he was... Sorry for the interruption. My computer's been acting like a complete fool today, but it is what it is. But yeah, like I was saying, man, Moreno's had his losses to Pettis. He's had his losses to Pantoja. I think now, it's his, kind of his turn when he was the up-and-comer fighting those guys to kind of give that lesson to Royval. And I think he's going to get this done by decision. I think he can stop the takedowns. I think he can stop the rapid grappling pace that Royval puts on guys. And I think, Royval's kind of weird stand-up game, it kind of messes with guys, but I think Moreno's going to be able to handle that, do well in the chaos that Royval brings and just handle him and get him done by decision. I think he get 28-29, or he might dominate him, but I think Moreno's ready for this moment. I think he deserves... I don't want to say he deserves to beat him, but I think he will beat him because he knows that he should be in the fighting for a title. He knows he should be fighting Davison Figueiredo, and I think he needs to put Royval in his place. That's just it. But Royval, he's dangerous though. He can take him out. So this is kind of like almost like a pick 'em low-key. Next fight, Kyle Daukaus versus Dustin Stoltzfus. I think that's how you say his name. I'm just going to say Dustin. Kyle comes in 9-1, fights out of Pennsylvania, age 27, height 6'3", and reaches 76. Dustin's 13-1. He's from Germany. I think they say he fights out of Pennsylvania too, but I'm gonna just say he fights out of Germany. Age 29, height 5'11", reach 75. Kyle's most recent one was against Nolan Norwood, and Dustin's most recent one was against Joseph Pierre. I think that was the slam, right? The slam knockout, or the slam, like the breakage of the arm, slam injury or whatever. And Kyle's most recent loss was to Brendan Allen, which was a war and was a great fight. And Dustin's most recent loss was to Christian Skrofzik. Or I say these guys, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, I'm black, y'all. Black people can't read, man. Give me a break. But Kyle looked amazing in his last fight, man. Brendan Allen, I think he's gonna fight. This is obviously UFC Vegas 14, so I think Brendan Allen's gonna take care of Sean Strickland, and hey, man, Kyle Daukaus, and just the Daukaus brothers in general have just been looking amazing. Dustin didn't really impress me in his Contender Series fight. I wouldn't say he was losing before the slam, because it wasn't enough time to really look, but he didn't look that good. I think Kyle's, his Muay Thai, his grappling, I think it'll get him the edge in this fight. And I'm gonna take a dig. I'm gonna take Daukaus by a second round sub, man. I think even though I know Dustin's a really good grappler, right? I think Kyle can get this done. Next fight, Jouban versus Jared Gooden. Alan comes in 16-7, fights out of California, age 38, y'all. Yeah, whew. Oh, he old. Man, he don't look old, but he old. High 6 foot, reach 74. Jared's 17-4. More fights. That's wild. Fights at Atlanta, age 26, and he's younger. Height 6 foot and reach 76, and he has the reach advantage. Allen's most recent was against Ben Saunders, and his most recent loss was to Dwight Grant, which was a split decision to his defense. And Jared's most recent win was against Trent McCown, and his most recent loss was to Bruno Oliveira. This is a good fight. I've been struggling with this one. The part of me wants to go Jouban. I think Jouban's the vet, right? And I think he can kind of give Gooden a good lesson about how a decision works, how to be a technical fighter, and just kind of just beat him, right? Show him that there's levels to this game, right? But at the same time, it's like, man, I've seen him get knocked out by a lot of, I wouldn't say wild fighters, but Nico Price is pretty wild, and Nico knocked him out. And Jared's not wild. I think he's technical, but he can throw some haymakers, and I think Jared's gonna get Allen. I think he did not look great against Dwight. He looked like he had a hard time pulling the trigger. He beat Ben Saunders, but Ben Saunders, is that even an accomplishment anymore? So it's kind of hard to pick. I'm gonna go Jared Gooden by I'm going first round KO. I think he knocks him out in the first round. But I could be wrong, man. Allen could show him something, but it is what it is. Let's go. Oh, there's some craziness on my phone. Next fight, Antonina Shevchenko versus Airane Lipski. Shevchenko comes in 8-2. Is fighting out of Apex right now, age 36. Man, I keep on forgetting she's the older sister. Height 5'8" and reach 68. Lipski's 13-5, fights out of Brazil, age 26, height 5'6", reach 67. Oh my god, let me turn off my phone, y'all. I'm sorry. It is going crazy. Lipski's most recent one was against Luna Carolina. Shevchenko's most recent win was against Lucy Polove. Shevchenko's most recent loss was to Katlyn Chookagian, and Lipski's most recent loss was to Molly McCain. Both of these girls aren't bad looking, I'll say that. Let me just start off by saying that. But these girls aren't the greatest, but Shevchenko's aged, she's 36 years old. She's had problems with her grappling, and I don't know how, but it is what it is. I think Lipski is going to go out there. She had a really good submission over Carolina, and I think she's going to go out there, use her grappling. And, she get this done by decision. Most girl fights are decisions. I'm always going to usually go there unless there's, a legitimate grappling advantage, if it's Mackenzie Dern. It might be a sub, but I just have not been impressed with Antonina. And, I think Lipski gets this done. Next fight, Mike Perry versus Tim Means. Mike comes in 14-6, fights out of Orlando, age 29, height 5'10", and reaches 71. Tim 30-12-1, fights out of New Mexico, age 36, height 60, and reaches 75. Mike's most recent one was against Mickey Gall, and his most recent loss was against Jeff O'Neal. Means' most recent one was against Loreno Stropoli. His most recent loss was to Daniel Rodriguez. This is a hard one. I really do think this is a hard one. Perry looked like complete garbage in his last fight. Mickey Gall must beat him. I swear to God, Mickey Gall was this close. Like, he won the first round. The next two, Perry's grappling came in. Perry's striking had degraded to a point where I don't know. Like, and I don't want to go off on Perry, but man, the guy, he has an amateur boxing background. If you look at his last post, he was hitting past the sparring. I know he was throwing like a lot of hooks, and if you throw a lot of hooks, you might look like that, but it just looks like he's degraded, you know, and that's what happens when you don't have like right pad holders, man, and that's sad. It's like when he fought Vicente Luque, he looked like a guy that could get ranked at least number 15 or in that lower 15 area where he could compete with those guys, and I truly believe that. Now he's just not there no more, man. He's lost it, man, and that's what happens when you have people that aren't holding pads for you the right way, people who aren't coaching you the right way. They almost take away everything you've learned. It's like you can even go the same thing for grappling. Like if you don't use your grappling, you'll lose it. Like Tyron Woodley, man. Tyron Woodley has better wrestling credentials than Usman, than Colby, but he's getting even Gilbert Burns. He's getting taken down by all of them because he doesn't use it, right? Like, you know, and Perry's he's not doing it, just not doing it. And I think Tim's gonna get this done by decision. I'm going Tim Means. I might be a lone wolf on this one, but like 2 years ago, Perry probably would have knocked this fool out. I swear to God. And now I'm just not confident. Like, I'm not, you know. So I might get some shot for this, but yeah. Next fight, Katlyn Chookagian versus Cynthia Calvillo. Katlyn comes in 14-4, number 2 flyweight in the world. Fights in New Jersey, age 31, height 5'9", reach 66. Her most recent one was against Antonina Shevchenko, and her most recent loss was to Jessica Andrade. Cynthia Calvillo is 9-1-1, number 4 flyweight in the world. Fights out of San Jose. Oh man, that's what I'm talking about. AKA stand up, Cali stand up. Age 33, height 5'4", reach of 64. So you know Katlyn does have the reach advantage. Her most recent one was against Jessica, and her most recent loss was to Carla Esparza. Katlyn's, you know, coming back really early since her loss to Jessica. Katlyn's a good fighter. I think she's a little rangier. So this is gonna be a harder fight for Cynthia. But man, these flyweights, man, they're these top girls, they're going down, man. These strawweights are taking them out, man. Oh man, that's kind of sad for flyweight, but it makes the division more competitive, though, you know. So I think Cynthia's wrestling should take over, but this is gonna be a little harder. Chookagian's a longer, rangier girl, has loves her grappling, right? So you'd have to say, you know, Chookagian has a chance, and she's coming off a loss, so she wants to win. But here's the thing. She was talking about retirement because I think she wanted to get a baby. I think that's what it was. Or she wants to start a family or whatever. Or something like that. And I didn't like that. I don't like to hear when people say stuff like that. And, you know, it is what it is with me. But I think Cynthia Calvillo should get this done with her wrestling. I think she's just, you know, and she's training AKA. She's not, you know, dealing with that alpha male drama, you know, over there. She trained at the best gym in the world. I'm saying that. Don't get mad at it. Elevation, Skedaddle. What is it called? Stanford MMA. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all go from Black Zillions, Hard Knocks. Y'all can't keep the same name. Skedaddle, man. Stop playing with me. I think Cynthia gets this done by decision. Next fight, Shogun versus Paul Craig. Shogun comes in 27-11-1. It's number 14 light heavyweight in the world. Fights out of Brazil, age 38, height 6'1", and reaches 76. Craig is 13-4-1. Is the number 15 light heavyweight in the world. Fights out of Scotland, age 32, height 6'3", and reaches 75. Shogun, most recent one was against Antonio Ruggiero Nogueira, and his most recent loss was to Anthony Smith. Craig's most recent one was against Guzmiri Antigulov, and his most recent loss was to Alonzo Minifield. This is a good fight. First fight it went to a draw. I was really disappointed. I picked Shogun in the first fight, and Shogun just acted like a complete idiot. Like, he didn't tell that fool to stand up. I don't know if Shogun's not confident in stand up, but I feel like he can outstrike Paul Craig, man. Craig has no stand up game, and Shogun was just standing over him, and he wasn't in his guard, but he was like he was in that stack guard position, but he was just throwing leg kicks at him, and I was just like, what are you doing, bro? Just he could have won that fight, and I don't think Craig's that good. I really don't, and I don't like him at all. I really don't. So this is kind of like a biased pick. So if you're picking Craig and you think I'm crazy, then you're right. I am crazy because I do not like this fool. I have so much what's it called? Thankfulness to Alonzo Minifield for what he did to Craig. So I think there's this little clip that Joey Diaz had about Paul Craig. It's hilarious. You guys should check it out. But yeah, I think Shogun should get this done by decision, and I thought Shogun looked decent in the first fight. I don't think Craig did anything. He just, like, the problem was Shogun wasn't doing enough, and Craig was maintaining position on bottom, and it just was a bad fight in general, and they deserved to both have an L for that. But yeah, next up, co-main event: Valentina Shevchenko versus Jennifer Maia. Valentina comes in 19-3, flyweight champion of the world, is fighting at the Apex right now. Age 32, height 5'5", and reaches 65. Maia is 18-6-1, is number 3 flyweight in the world, fights out of Brazil, age 32, height of 5'5", and reaches 64. Shevchenko's most recent win was against Katlyn Chookagian, and her most recent loss was to Man Nunez via split decision in 2017. Maia's most recent one was against Joanne Calderwood, and her most recent loss was to Katlyn Chookagian. Y'all know me. This is out of control, what they're doing with this flyweight division. I cannot wait for Valentina just to beat this girl and then get to the fight we all want to see, is her versus Andrade. That's going to be fucking fireworks. That's going to be chaos. Obviously, Valentina would probably be the favorite in that fight, but still, that it's just more competitive. Maia looked good against Calderwood. I thought Calderwood, did probably the dumbest thing in the world. She followed Ariel Helwani's advice about being a number 1 contender and giving up your spot to fight another person when you basically had a title shot. But it is what it is, It was pretty sad to see, but Maia got it done. I think Valentina could dominate her on the ground, and she could beat her by decision, but I think Valentina wants to make a statement on this. She hasn't fought in a minute. She hasn't fought since UFC 247, so I think she wants to make a statement, and I think she gets this done in the fourth round TKO. I think she knocks her out. I think she really does. She could knock her out sooner, but I think Valentina, she's a weird girl. She likes to take her time. She's weird. She's either like super dominant, be a decision, or she'll submit you, or she'll have ground and pound, right? But I think really she's just on another level in the stand up, and she's not that far off. She might be better than Maia in the grappling. I think she might be better than her everywhere. But I want to give Maia her respect. She had a really good armbar against Calderwood, so it is what it is with that. I'm going Valentina via 4th round TKO. Next up to the main event: Alex Perez versus Davison Figueiredo. This is a really awesome fight. I have a pretty good breakdown on it. Go check that out. I am gonna be going Figueiredo by third round TKO. I think Figueiredo's power is what's going to separate this fight. Obviously, Alex Perez has a really good background. I think he coaches at Soma High School. He's a really good wrestler. He has some ties with, I think, Teofimo Lopez or something. I remember Lopez was shouting him out after his win over Juicia Formiga on his Instagram. So I think maybe he's getting some boxing work with Teofimo. I'm not sure. I'm just assuming. But it is what it is. I think Perez deserves more respect. I think this is going to be a more competitive fight than Cody Garbrandt. I'm gonna be honest with you, I had Davison Figueiredo knocking Cody Garbrandt in the first round. I really believe he could have knocked Cody out. You know, so it is what it is. But I think Figueiredo should get this done with he just has raw power, man. Like what he did to Benavidez was murder and rape and assault, man. I'm sorry, I'm sorry for being disrespectful, but that's what it was. And man, Perez, I just don't think he can overcome that. But he's gonna try. He's gonna shoot. He gotta shoot. He gotta use his jab. He gotta use them calf kicks. He gotta do everything you gotta do to get that dub. But that's what it is. I don't think he's gonna be able to do that. I think Figueiredo is gonna get him in the third round, knock his ass out, some brutal ground and pound, and that's it. That's it for me. That's it for Perez, and that's it for the rest of this card. Hope you guys enjoyed. Go follow my Twitter. Go follow my Instagram. Love y'all, and goodbye. eBay Predictions is out.